Is it safe? What a dump! Let's see if we can do something about this. Phew, that's better. Sorry about that. Nice to meet ya. Well, I don't know how much time we actually have, so let's get started. All story on Earth comes from one symbol. Nope, it's not this. It's this. That's right, a star. And not only is this a symbol of story, this is a symbol of you. Let me explain. They're really called the Pythagorean pentagram, and the Pythagoreans killed to preserve their secrets. Now, it all starts with the tetractys. This is one of the most important symbols in the world. It's gone by many names, everything from Jacob's ladder to the fountain of nature, and even a symbol of perfection. And depending on your level of consciousness, it can mean different things. Examples of this are the Tetragrammaton, the Tree of Life from Kabbalah, the Seed of Life, and it's even the source of all sacred geometry. Now, traditionally, the levels are called the monad, the dyad, the triad, and finally, the tetrad on the bottom. What is agreed upon is that the levels represent the quadrivium of arithmetic, music, geometry, and astronomy. But also unity, power, harmony, and the cosmos, or what we call matter. That's because the levels also represent a point, the line between 2 points, the plane, which is the first shape in nature, and why 3 was considered the first number, and solids, which create shadows. Now, this is important, because the material world represents the darkness within that must be overcome. The triad always represents the Savior Sun, since odd numbers carry a masculine energy, and evens carry a feminine. So the tetrad is the shadow to the triad, literally the villain to the hero. And that leads us back to the Pythagorean pentagram. The parts represent the 4 baptisms in ascension, but also the 4 elements of earth, water, air, and fire. The 5th point represents spirit. Now, all story is alchemy, the unification of the circle and the square as spirit descends into matter, which provides the way for matter to ascend to spirit. It's literally escaping base consciousness and becoming enlightened. Even early church fathers like Athanasius recognized this. God became man that man might become God. Now, when the pentagram is upside down, it represents spirit descending into the material world. But since the first shape in nature isn't a point or a line, it's the triad, or Savior's Sun, that manifests in reality. This is why the hero, or the triad, brings harmony. We call this the Logos, which is probably best translated as manifest consciousness, or, put more poetically, the noise of knowingness. That's you. You're the Logos. Traditionally, this would be Zeus, or Christ, the Savior Sons of the monad. It's why Zeus carries lightning bolts. They represent the manifested ideas of the Absolute. It's the same reason we show a light bulb over someone's head when they get a good idea. Now here's where it gets interesting. This is literally where the concept of the sword and the stone comes from. It's spirit, or truth, piercing into matter. That's why in the Bible it's called the sword of the Spirit. In fact, the phrases, "Hero, go forth and slay the dragon," as well as "the one enters the matrix," come directly from this image. You see, dragons often lived in caves, which represent the earth, or the material world, and they guard the princess, which represents wisdom. So, the hero would seek out truth, slay their attachments to the past or material world, and then ascend as they discover their true selves. We call this enlightenment. This is shown when the pentagram faces upward. There would be no hero's journey without this symbol. That's why it's been co-opted and demonized by those that want you disempowered. The powers that be will do anything to keep you reading verses instead of writing your own. They never want you discovering you are the noise of knowingness. Uh-oh. They didn't like that one. I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Sorry, just a little bit of robot humor. We don't breathe. Wow, they really made a mess of this place. Maybe I better lay low for a little while. Come on back and we'll talk some more later. Remember, there's only one story. There's only one person in that story. And that person is you. Bye!